Hey guys, welcome back into the video. So we're going to be going over IGN's interview with Takahashi Iizuka about Sonic Frontiers. So without further ado, let's get into it. So when did you first get the idea to make an open zone focused game? Was that something that you brainstormed as an idea before? After completing Forces, we were brainstorming on what to do next. We realized there's little room for evolution what was a traditional 3D game. We'd only be able to make something that fantasy before. That's why at the start, they discussed the team had to change the style. Did you look at any other open world games for inspiration? As I mentioned, the game began with us asking to give more freedom. Its origins is a different place from other open world action adventure games. This new open zone game system is our way of giving as much freedom as possible. Open world games like Zelda or other AAA games fundamentally have RPG or adventure worlds. For Sonic, the core here is a 3D action game. Our basic idea is to have that take place in open space. What set Sonic Frontiers apart is this different approach to an open game world. So obviously they're banking on how their form of open world is different compared to other AAA open world games like Breath of the Wild, for example, or like some of the Sony games like Marvel Spider-Man and such, etc. So anyway, moving on to the next topic. I want to take a second to talk about the music. When I was playing, I was really struck by how different the soundtrack was compared to other games. It's very somber and melancholic. What brought you to make this change? I think Frontier is a very different and more realistic look compared to traditional Sonic games. Yeah, that is a stark. It's a stark comparison because traditionally Sonic games are more cartoony. Like this is really realistic, and for such a change, I like it. I think the game looks stunning personally, but I'm sure this is obviously only the opening area, so I'm sure there's a lot more to see as we see more of the game in action. So anyway, moving on. There also song stories have also been about something bad has happened. Fix it. They very clearly tell the player what needs to be done. Sonic Frontiers, though, places Sonic on these islands and asks what he needs to do and how to save his friends. Its theme is that it asks both the player and Sonic to solve these questions together. The soundtrack also has less focus on upbeat tracks that match a given stage. It's focused more on helping to create a mysterious feeling surrounding the islands. Well, so because there was I think it was Sega was saying an outdated synopsis that mentioned that Eggman was using some kind of AI to steal the ancient technology, and I guess something happened, I guess, and so Sonic has to figure out how to save his friends and himself. And it looks like that part was accurate, considering that Izuka confirmed that. So we know, besides Sonic, we know Tails and Amy were with them when they got separated on this island. So, and considering they're doing an animated intro with Knuckles and the Master Emerald, so it seems that those two are that's going to be a thing as well. So it makes me wonder about other friends of Sonic like Shadow. When they'll be in here too. Considering there's been leaks about Shadow being in the game, so I'm gonna assume yes. So anyway, moving on to the next part. Can you talk a little bit about the split of having this open zone along with traditional Sonic levels? You can make lots of discoveries and enjoy 3D Sonic action in the game's open zone islands. However, they also contain traditional Sonic-style high-speed linear levels. Fans of traditional modern 3D Sonic should enjoy these. They'll be able to use the techniques and actions they learned to beat them. By merging these zones and traditional action stages the same, players will be able to enjoy a broader variety of 3D action than before. That kind of reminds me of how 343 handled Halo Infinite's open world, where the main missions are the linear story that we're used to, and then there's this open world for you to explore. It seems that Sega kind of has a similar philosophy with Sonic Frontiers, and I think that's a good thing personally. But hey, moving on. Puzzles are a surprisingly large part of Sonic Frontiers. Can you talk about the decision to fill the world with puzzles and use them as a way to expand? Exploring islands is part of the fun in Frontiers. It's about both the 3D action and the excitement of what you discovered. The islands in Frontiers contain lots of different elements and quirks. That includes puzzle solving. These involve using both action game techniques and your brain. You can unlock island areas through these puzzles containing various kinds of gameplay. Part of the enjoyment is gradually open up the area available to you. So it seems that over time, the islands will fully open up, allowing you to explore more. So I like that kind of idea. So it gives exploration a purpose. It gives it a genuine purpose. So that is definitely a good thing in my eyes. Anyway, next up, With the inclusion in the open zone, it almost feels like we could play a loop back to the first Sonic Adventure, which also had a very small scale open world. In visiting the Sonic Adventure game, something that interests you other in the form of a remaster or a sequel. I mentioned this in previous interviews, but I would like to continue the Adventure series. Sonic Adventure also contains smaller open space known as Adventure Fields, or Hub Worlds in that case. I think we've used what we learned with those in this game as well. I haven't thought about my next game yet, but I personally think it would be nice if we could use what we learned with this game Sonic Adventure. Yeah, we've been asking that for years! For so long, people have been asking for Sonic Adventure 3, so if Frontiers is truly successful, I hope that they kind of take the, like, at least kind of iterate on the formula here and use that for a Sonic Adventure 3. I think that would be great, so, hey, we'll see, time will tell. Anyway, finally, with Sonic being more than 30 years old now, there's not only an audience that's grown up with the Genesis and Dreamcast eras, but also a growing audience that's grown up with the movies and more modern games. How do you try and appeal to both? Well, Sonic's going to be 31. Sonic fans from 30 years ago are adults now. They are also young fans who may have started with the movies and such. Going forward, they want the Sonic brand to appeal to both groups in its games and other media. Part of that is Sonic Origins with its June release. It's a perfect representation of the origins of Sonic for fans both old and new. They also plan on creating more games like Frontiers that will delight 3D veterans in new ways. Our plan is to target these groups of Sonic fans with each of our releases going forward. And that's the end of the interview. So it seems that they're hoping that Frontiers will lay the foundation for the future, and that's why it is important that they get this right. It is so important that they get it right. So because this is really ambitious, it seems like they're really ambitious again, and I hope they nail it. I really do, because if this is like the future of the series, especially if they're gonna use this toward Adventure 3, I'm down for it. So, what do you think of this interview? Let me know down in the comment section below. If you liked the video, hit the like button and consider subbing to the channel. I'll be seeing you in the next one.